Well, hello. My name is Minerva, and you may have noticed I am a witch. Well, not strictly true. I'm learning to be a witch. I am an apprentice witch, if you will, and I attend the School of Spells, where all the wizards and witches go to learn to be fabulous witches and wizards. You might have met my sister already. She attends the school with me. Her name is Allegra. We're twins. The teachers struggle sometimes to know which is true. Anyway, she lives in the dorm with me. We're roommates. Now, at this school is pretty special. There's lots of fabulous lessons. I'm getting there regards being a witch. I've got a broomstick. That's my first goal. And now I've got a wand too. I didn't get it until second grade because in the first grade I had chickenpox. I was an itchy witchy and I was getting dizzy spells too. But now I attend all my lessons. Otherwise, you can get expelled, you see. I love some of my lessons. You see, we do a wide variety of different ones, from maths, magical maths, spelling of course, creative writing. Now, we have to be careful with creative writing and we're encouraged not to be too creative. You see, the problem is when you're a witch or a wizard and your ideas get put down on paper, well, sometimes they can become reality, and that doesn't always go very well, if you get me. So we're encouraged not to be too creative. My favourite subject, though, well, is caring for magical creatures. You see, every witch and wizard has a sidekick. That's a bit like a guardian, and it's a bit like looking after a pet, because we all have one each, and they're all animals, different animals. They're our sidekicks. We need to learn how to care for them, and in the long run, they protect us, because by using our magic, they become a little bit different than the normal animal that you might know. So they're pretty special. And we form quite close bonds with our sidekicks too. Do you want to meet mine? Well, my sidekick, he's called Lightning. He's got 8 legs. Yeah, you've guessed it, he's an arachnid, all right. But this particular arachnid is not small. It's a little bit bigger than the one you know coming up the plug hole. He's not Harry House Spider. He's a tarantula. Yeah, his name is Lightning. And he's pretty big. He's gonna make Harry House Spider look pretty minuscule, I'm gonna tell you. Anyway, let's meet him. This is Lightning. Look at that. Wow, pretty impressive stuff, hey? Now, Lightning here, he is an arachnid. He's got 8 legs, of course. Now, when us witches use our magic with our sidekicks, in the case of Lightning here, well, Lightning can become 20 times his size. Yeah, bigger than a building, if you will. So you can imagine how he's great as a protector if needed. Let's step back to normality when he's just being plain Lightning. Let's talk about him. Well, he comes from Chile in South America, where it's not chilly like the word, it's pretty warm. But that's how he got his name, because he's a Chilean rose tarantula. And if you look, you can see a tinge of pink on his back if you look very closely. 8 legs, of course. How many eyes do you reckon? Well, a lot more than you might think. We've got 2 eyes, of course. He has 8 eyes. 8 eyes and 8 legs. His eyes are not on his legs. It doesn't work like that. on the top of his head is a spot. I'm going to show you where that spot is. Just there. Can you see it? Right in the front of the screen? Well, where that spot is, right there, that's where all of his 8 eyes are. He can see all the way around him, although he can't see that well actually. He can only see things up close. So, to help protect him, he is covered in hairs. Now, he doesn't need a razor to shave off all that hair. Those hairs are there for a reason. If a big bird, a predator, comes along, grabs him, tries to gobble him up, he will flick hairs off his body. The hairs will go into the bird's feathers, in the bird's eyes, and make the bird really itch and scratch. Meanwhile, Lightning here, well, he gets to get away. Those hairs are really special to keep him safe. Now, of course, I look after Lightning, so I need to make sure that I give him the right food. That's really important. What do I give him? Well, spiders, we know, of course, eat insects, eat flies. But my spider here is much bigger. He doesn't eat flies like other spiders. And in the case of French spiders, he doesn't eat French flies. He eats bigger insects like crickets and locusts and things like that. So not only do I have to look after Lightning, I have to look after a tank full of crickets and locusts too. I get the food for the crickets and locusts from the kitchen. I give them greens like vegetables and fruit. That's what the crickets and locusts feed off. And then I feed them once they're fully fed to my tarantula. He only feeds once a week. But my crickets and locusts, they feed every day. I need to make sure that I keep an eye on them all. Allegra is not keen on creepy crawlies running around the dorm. She's a snake girl, so I need to be really careful I don't let any of those crickets and locusts out or I'll be in trouble, I'm telling you. She'll probably use her magic wand on me. Anyway, we know that spiders make webs, of course. Where does her web come out of? She doesn't have a hand like Spider-Man. Her web comes out of her bottom. How about that? She spins her web from her spinnerets just there at the back on the bottom. There we go. Now, those spinnerets are used to produce silk. Now, that silk is made on the ground like a blanket or tripwires between tree roots. And if we're lucky, I think there might be some silk. Oh no, I thought we saw some silk there. Sometimes you can pull it right out and see the silk. Now, those tripwires between tree roots, Lightning hides under a tree root and waits for a large insect to walk across the web. When it does, Lightning comes running out from where he's hiding and uses those 2 great big fangs and pushes them into the bug. Turns the bug into mush, a liquid soup, and then sucks it all back up. A bit like sucking up a milkshake through a straw, but it's a bug shake instead. Not to be tried at home, just for spiders, but that's what Lightning does. How about that? Has a liquid lunch. Yeah, a liquid lunch. Not keen on a witch's favourite food, sandwiches. Yeah, a liquid lunch. Well, I hope you've enjoyed learning all about Lightning. His tank, well, is fed with insects, there's soil in there, and I feed him every 2 to 3 days. He needs to be pretty warm too, because he's a cold-blooded animal. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. I must go off and get myself some lunch. I'm having a bagel today with screen cheese. Anyway, you guys make sure you stay safe out there. It's a bit of a weird world we're living in right now, but let's hope very soon we'll return to normal and we'll look forward to coming out and actually seeing you for real. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Hi, we're Zoolab, the UK's #1 for ethical hands-on animal encounters.